Nobody tells you this before you move to Canada. Not your friends who are already here. Well, some of them try. Not the YouTube video showing you snow and skylines. Not the immigration consultants. These are things, real things I wish someone would have sat me down and told me before I got on that plane. Some of it would have saved me time. Some of it would have saved me money. Some of it would have prepared me for the weather here. And honestly, some of it would have saved me from feeling almost completely alone. So today I'm going to give you what nobody gave me. So let's go. Five things, real talk, no sugarcoating. But I have to introduce myself. If you're new here, warm welcome to my channel. My name is Danilo. I'm a Canadian resident and happy to be. This channel is a free space of sharing and encouragement. Thank you so much for clicking and watching. It is very encouraging. I really do appreciate it. On this channel, I'm going to give you content both in English and French to represent the two official languages of Canada. And we are going to cover many subjects. I'm going to be specific about those subjects in a bit. Please bear with me. If you're thinking about Canada, you're planning to immigrate to Canada, please save this video because it's going to help you. But if you are already here, hit and tell me on the comment below which of these points hit closest to home. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Number one, the weather isn't just cold. This is a very interesting one, and I see you smiling. The weather is a very interesting topic of conversation in Canada, right? People can talk about the weather in Canada forever. You might know that Canada is one of the coldest countries in the world, and people might warn you about the cold before you come, right? They'll tell you to buy big jackets, get some boots, pay you up, and sure, that's important. That's absolutely true, right? But nobody tells you about what winter actually does to your mind. Hence, the title of this first point, the weather isn't just cold. I arrived here in October 2022, right? Fall. And by the time my first winter hit, that's when I understood what people meant when they said the days get short. You see, it's not just about being cold, it's about your body and your mind adjusting to a completely different rhythm of daylight, right? Because in the winter, days are shorter and the nights are longer, right? And if nobody tells you that's coming, it can catch you off guard, not just physically, but also emotionally, you know. But for me personally, it was kind of a like it was a challenge, it was a struggle as well, but it wasn't that much of a struggle. But for other people, it can be, right? Because we African, we did tough now. So just a personal experience in the beginning when I was new as a student, my my campus was in Markham, and the commute was not easy. What I'll talk more about the commute in the next point. But here let's focus on the on the weather. So when I had in-person classes, and our in-person classes start as early as 8 a.m., 9 a.m. So I'll get up very early in the dark, go outside, it's cold, and take the bus back and forth. One day, I was waiting for the bus at the bus stop, right? I was cold, almost shivering, like cold to the bone, and waiting for the bus, right? I waited, and then I saw one bus coming. I I thought it was my bus. Turned out it was not. So I tried to get in, and before going to sit down, I inquired to the driver that, okay, yeah, I'm going to this place. Please, I showed the map on my phone. I'm going to this place. Please, is this the right bus? And the driver said it was a lady. I know, my dear, this is not the right bus. Your bus is coming in a couple of minutes, right? So I'm like, wow. I almost told the driver that, see, I just want to enter. I want to enter inside this bus. Take me wherever you want to take me. See, I don't just want to stay outside in the cold. So let's just go. But I had to get off and wait for my own bus. So it wasn't easy. So that's just one of the just so many that's one of the many challenges that uh, you as an immigrant you will face if you're new when you come here, right? I know so many people can relate with this as well, right? So quick tip, if you're thinking about Canada, if you're thinking of moving here, the first winter is as much as a mental adjustment as a physical one. Things like getting outside during daylight hours, right? Even if it's for 10 minutes, actually helps. Please, let's move on to the next. Number two, your commute will test you. This is something very important, and this is something that I don't see many people talk about because distance and transit in Canada are no joke, right? When like I said in the previous point, when I was new as a student, my campus was in Markham, and I lived in Mississauga. From Mississauga to Markham, the distance in kilometers is 57 kilometers, I think. 37-minute drive without traffic if perhaps you take the 407. But if you take the 401, and I didn't have a car, so I had to commute by bus. With the bus, it's like 1 hour 30 minutes. This is without transfer times between buses because I took three buses from Mississauga to my campus in Markham. The first one, my way, great buses, great transit. The second one, the Go bus at Renford Station, Mississauga to Richmond Hill. And then the third one is at Richmond Hill, the Blue bus, the York Transit, great transit as well. So my commute time was close to 2 hours from the house to the campus in Markham. So that was challenging. It wasn't easy, but that was my routine, right? Back in your home country, perhaps like for me, distance are measured differently. Here are two cities that look close on a map can mean hours of the days every single day, especially with winter transit delays, right? So it can be inconvenient. It affects your energy, time, your ability to work part time and everything. So yeah, but you have to adapt, you have to adjust. Yes, like I did. But it's not easy, but with time you will um you will adjust. But that's just to show you that okay, that commute, between places from one place to another is actually going to test you, right? So be ready. A quick tip before choosing where you want to live, if you're thinking about immigrating to Canada, research the actual place, research the commute, not just the distance, but the transit route, the transfer times, and the delays that might happen in winter. So that's a tip, and that can help you, or that can shape your first year experience with commute in Canada. Number three, community doesn't find you, you have to find it. And for me, I think the title of this point is kind of a fundamental principle in life. You need to go get them, right? So if you're from a more community-oriented country like I am, you're used to a certain way of life. Like for example, neighbors check on you. People show up at your place unannounced. Hey, bro, how you doing? You good? Yes, man, I'm doing great. How about you? No, man, I'm great. But what are you doing here? I was just passing by. I was just checking on you. Really? Hmm. Yeah. So there's a rhythm of togetherness. You don't even notice, right? Back in your home country until it's gone. Canada is very friendly, very, very friendly. I've met incredible and nice people in Canada, but it's just different, right? People are warm, true, but the culture is more like individual pace. is, nobody's going to organically build a community for you the way it might happen back in your home country. Yeah. So that's an adjustment, a real one. Yeah. It might be challenging for some people. So you have to get ready for it if you think about moving here. But for me personally, I didn't mind. So I'm kind of a loner, but we are social creatures, right? So we love to be around people. Were not we're not made or designed to live alone, right? So before you come, quick tip: before you come, seek out cultural association, places of worship, or even online communities. You know, because community here takes intention, not chance. Number four, the cost of living will surprise you. And yeah, it's true. This is a practical one and it matters a lot, right? It's a good practice, and I often encourage people to do research on the cost of living of the country you're trying to immigrate to or you're trying to move to. In our context, Canada. But sometimes, though, no matter how much research you do, the actual cost of living, but do your research, do your due diligence, is very important. The actual cost of living here hits differently once you're living it day by day, every day. It's not that prices are hitting away from you at the stores. No. It's that you don't feel them until you're budgeting your own money in a new currency, in a new system, often without family nearby to fall back on, right? It can be challenging, it can be a hurdle. And I know a lot of you can relate, right? Especially for so many that came here alone, and the cost of living hits differently based on your number of people in your household, if you're alone or if you're single or with a family. So it's kind of different. Yeah. And each and every one, they face their own challenges. But yeah, do research and be ready for that, right? For me personally, I'm someone that live below my means, and recently I've decided to control my finances, to control the money coming in and the money going out, to have a budget. That is very important. There is a quote that I caught from a video, and it's a very, very important quote. I try to live by it. It's a quote that I got from one of James's interview, one of the person that he does interview for his channel, the School of Hard Knocks. He was interviewing someone, and he asked him this question: what is the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received from a mentor? I think so, I believe, yeah. And the person said, live small enough, long enough to be big enough soon enough. Live small enough, long enough to be big enough soon enough. That's a very that's game right there, as he used to say. So yeah, and I try to live by that. Live below your means, right? Quick tip: build a realistic budget before you arrive. Make it more conservative than you think you need. The first few months might cost you more than you expected. And number five, the last one, cultural adaptation. You know, this one, yeah, it's a little bit emotional for me and some people. So it's not just about the weather, the commute, or the cost of living. It's all of it together. The language, the way people communicate, the pace of life, the culture. It's everything all happening at once while you're trying to study or work or build a life for yourself in a new country, in a new environment, as a new immigrant, right? Nobody adjusts to all of that overnight. And if you go in expecting you feel normal within a few weeks, you might feel like something is wrong with you when you don't, actually, Nothing is wrong with you, it just takes time. And one day, you realize that you just look up and it feels like home, you know. Just give it some time. And that was the same thing for me. In the beginning, it's always hard, you know, but you have to stay hard. So, yeah, it's not easy at first. For me personally, I didn't mind. I had to adapt quickly, and I had people around me that actually helped me to adapt to the way of life, the way people think, and the culture here. And right now, it feels like home. We've come to the conclusion of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If I'd known these 5 things before I came to Canada, my first year would have been completely different. But here's the truth, I didn't know, and I had to figure it out anyway. So that's why I'm sharing these gems with you if you're thinking about immigrating to Canada, because I don't want you to learn the hard way. If this video has helped you even a little, please subscribe, hit the notification button, and share. It might help someone else, right? Like I said, this channel is a space of sharing and encouragement. And in the comments below, tell me, please, which one of these 5 points hits closest to home for you? Or is there anything, or is there something I've missed that you wish you'd known? Tell me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.